been thinking about this a lot recently, and I'm going to try and get through it as quickly as I possibly can. Just recent events that have happened with Charlie Kirk. There's a definite divide, there's no doubt about it. Politics, especially in America, has never been more polarised. It's happening in America, it's happening in the UK as well. There's the old saying, whenever America sneezes, Britain catches a cold. So, these things tend to filter through over here too over time. But it's definitely never been more polarised and divided in America, that's for sure. But something that I was thinking about the other day is that I see so much of the left and the far left, the hard left, I see so much rooted in a sheer blind ignorance of basic truth. And that worries me because once you start denying basic truth, then that's chaos for the mind. It can spiral into so many other things easily. And something that I do often is I ask myself about my own thoughts, my own beliefs. I ask myself, am I on the right side? Am I right thinking what I'm thinking? Why do I think what I think? And is the way that I think and the things that I think and the beliefs that I have, are they good? Are they right? Or am I wrong? I have the ability to use critical thinking towards my own thinking. And I do it often. I think a lot about why I think the way I think, how I think the way I think, and whether I should think the way that I think. Because it's important. And I see a lot, or I think a lot of the political left, especially the hard left, the far left, I don't see that critical thought. I'd like to think that they ask themselves often, am I right about this? For example, was Charlie Kirk really a Nazi? Is Donald Trump really like Hitler? Is he? Because I don't think Charlie Kirk was a Nazi or a fascist or a bigot or an anything phobe. I think he was a man who had strong Christian values. He was a family man, loved his family, loved his children, loved being alive, loved life, loved God, and he believed in basic truth and facts, and he delivered them always politely and respectfully. He was a master of polite debate and respectful disagreement, and he encouraged it, and he listened to other opinions and then debated them and argued them with fact, reason, and logic. And he was good at it. And I wonder whether, when I see these people celebrating, some of the things I've read have been horrific. And they're not jokes. They're genuine joy, genuine pleasure that this man's life has been erased off the planet, and his children no longer have a father, and his wife no longer has a husband. And if some of the comments have been utterly repulsive with regards to it, and I'd like to think that at some point these people can sit down and assess critical thinking to their own thoughts and think, could I be wrong about this? I think the people on the right tend to be more critically able to think things through and be reasonable and say, no, you could be mistaken about that, and would you like to think about that? Whereas on the left, if you don't fit in with their worldview, and I'm talking about the hard left, if you don't fit in with their worldview, if you don't share what they believe, you're bad and evil and wrong and labelled and smeared and all sorts of nasty, horrible stuff, to the point that they are normalising pure and outright violence and hatred towards people who have different opinions to them. And we can see it. If we have common sense and we have the ability to critically think, then we can all see it. We can see the truth, and we can see what's going on, and we can see that there's a lot of problems out there, a lot, and nobody seems to have the answer. But I am hopeful that some good can come from this horrible mess. I'm hopeful that more and more people on the hard political left or the stronger side of the political left will start to look at their thoughts a bit more critically and ask, is this really real? Is this really true? Because again, once you start denying yourself basic realities, basic truths, such as men can be women, men can have babies, things like that, and other things that you see a lot of, which I don't agree with at all. Once you start denying yourself basic truth, it's chaos for the mind. You will then, if you can start telling yourself these things, you can tell yourself anything, and you can believe it. And I worry about the state of things. And I'd like to see, if there is good to come of it, I'd like to see more conversation. I'd like to see more people on the left actually, instead of hearing the views that they don't agree with and branding them and labelling them racist and Nazis and bigots and xenophobes and anything ists, and trying to silence them and cancel them and shut them down. I'd like them to sit and listen, and I'd like everybody to sit and listen and find common ground. Because I think that's what Charlie Kirk would have wanted. I think he was always trying to find common ground. Yes, he did have numerous gotcha moments, but when you deliver cold, hard facts and you're debating somebody who's denying basic reality, there's going to be a lot of gotcha moments. But I think overall he was trying to bring good. I think something changed the other night. Something changed in me. I was already distraught about the 23-year-old Ukrainian student who was violently taken from us on a train, in a horrible fashion as well. I was already deeply upset about that. I broke down in my kitchen when I saw that video. I didn't mean to see it. It just happened upon it, because it showed up, as it did in a lot of people's feeds, I'm sure. And I was broken. It broke me. It broke me. I saw my daughter. I saw the fear in her eyes. I saw my daughter in her, and I was visibly and shaky, upset in my kitchen. And then this happened with Charlie Kirk, and that just compounded things for me. And I woke up yesterday morning feeling different. And I'm not sure how different and why, but I'm definitely going to be more vocal with my thoughts and what I think is wrong with the world today. And I try my best. I'm doing all I can with what I'm doing for the reasons that I'm doing it and helping. I'm trying to help. But I'm certainly going to be less afraid to speak my mind on the things that I believe are important, and I'm hopeful that this can cause new discussions and new conversations, and hopefully a more willingness to engage in conversations. And I mean that really in all honesty. It seems to be one side that doesn't want to listen. It seems to be one side that wants to put their fingers in the ears and go la 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 when they hear something that they don't like, and that's childish. And it seems to happen a lot. And again, I'd be denying basic reality if I was to say that I didn't see that, and it wasn't evident and noticeable when you see just what you see on a daily and regular basis. So anyway, that's my thoughts, and it's a very long video, but it is what it is. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful day. Have a great day. Have a beautiful day. And look after yourselves out there, because it's a bit mental.